Now, in less than 12 hours to the start of the new year, preparations are high across the country, from last-minute shopping to heightened security and countdown events. Nigerians are gearing up to usher in 2026. We have reporters standing by at key locations capturing the mood and movement of residents across some states. Jesse Tafida is in Borno State and Lupe Assam is in Kaduna State. They are both live to tell us the expectations of the residents of these states. But let's start with Jesse Tafida first. Congratulations on your latest award. I would like to ask you, Borno State has been plagued with a lot of security challenges, even with the recent attack at a mosque. Can you talk to us about the expectations of residents now come 2026, and what is the mood in the state currently?
Well, it's a very good note that everyone should note that Borno State has suffered, over 14 years insurgency, and we know that things are beginning to be okay. And for the past 5 years, we've had Christmas and New Year celebrations peacefully. But the 24th December bomb attack has come, as a surprise for many, hearing the sound that we've forgotten in the state capital. And coming back, people are having mixed feelings. What is really happening? People are calling on the security operatives to do more because they have been doing more. That is why we've experienced peaceful celebrations over the years. And now that this is happening, people are saying that the security operatives should be beefed up, and people should start, taking security seriously. Security is not a duty for the security operatives alone. They are saying that everyone has a role to play, checking your surroundings. When you see something, you say something. Now, coming back to expectations of people, I've talked to a lot of residents in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, and they've said that what they were expecting is more security of the security of the state, that people can continue to sleep with their two eyes closed. People can, supposed to go around going to schools, because a lot of liberated communities are picking up the pieces of their lives. We could see over the weeks the governor has not been in town. He has been going around, liberated communities, trying to talk to returnees, and the lives are beginning to pick up. So their expectations, are first, good security. Second, peaceful coexistence, unity of purpose, and then talking about also good economy.
Stand by. I'm going over now to Lupe Assam, who is in Kaduna State. Lupe, thank you for joining us. Rising prices have been a major issue with residents. What are they hoping for come 2026 in terms of economy and also security?
Well, good afternoon. Well, residents of Kaduna State are very, very optimistic, and their optimism is tied to maybe the proposed budget of 985 billion naira of the Kaduna State government, which highlights its priority to very, very key sectors that affect the livelihoods of the people. 25% of that budget has been allocated to healthcare, 25% allocated to education, 11% to agriculture. So these are the key things that affect the lives of people. So they are just optimistic that will bring a lot of improvement in the living standards of the people. And you could recall that security previously was a challenge in Kaduna State. People could hardly go a month or two without recording attacks, but we witnessed minimal attacks this year. No schools were attacked. Very few communities were attacked, and the response of the government demonstrated a commitment to ending this thing. So people are just optimistic that a lot of good is going to come. They were able to celebrate the Christmas void of attacks, especially in the southern areas and even in Beningwari and the rest. We couldn't hear of those reports. So people are optimistic that with an improvement in security and a drop in the prices of food. Recall that there was an inflation of about 34% last year, and the inflation dropped to less than 15%. Food inflation was also at 39% as at this time last year, and food inflation has dropped to less than 12%. Prices of commodities have dropped. Prices of staple foods, rice, beans, sorghum, has dropped seriously. So the people are appreciative of these efforts by the government, and they are hoping that this, in the coming year, more efforts will be put in by the government to ensure that there is a further drop in the prices of commodities. Recall that even the price of petrol, PMS, which is a very, very key component that influences the cost of transportation, has also dropped. So people have looked at these things. They're optimistic that going forward, the government will also put further efforts to ensure that their living standards are improved.
Lupe, can you talk to us? Youth occupy, a large percentage in Nigeria, and I believe that's the same case in Kaduna State. Can you share with us what the youth are hopeful for in 2026 in terms of diversity, in terms of uniqueness and artistry and all that? Can you talk to us about that?
Well, if you look at the policies of the government from the federal to the state, it has demonstrated a clear political will to help these youths. Recall that a skill acquisition center has been established, which will train these youths in thousands. So this is one of the things that have brought a lot of excitement to the youth. And recall, agriculture contributes to 41% of the economy of this state. That's to say, most of the young people in Kaduna State, or most of the residents of Kaduna, go into farming. And the government has met the Malabo Declaration by budgeting 11% of its 2026 budget to agriculture. So when you look at some of these things, these are the things that will encourage the youth. And these are some of the things that have brought a lot of excitement to residents of the state, which are particularly youth. And 25% of the budget being earmarked for education is to tell you that the government is concerned with taking more people out of the streets and putting them in classes. Education is free from the nursery to the secondary level in the state. So these are some of the initiatives. So for those who would like to go to school, prices of tuition fees for tertiary institutions have also been slashed. And for those who are willing to learn skills, a skill acquisition center has also been established. So these are some of the things that excite thousands of youths, and they are hopeful that for those who would like to learn skills, there is a place readily available for them to go and learn these skills at very, very cheap.
Thank you, Lupe, for that feedback. We are running out of time. Jesse, if you'd like to respond to my last question to Lupe, what is the expectation of youths in Borno State? What are they looking forward to come 2026?
Well, it's not far from what Lupe has said in Kaduna. Here in Borno State, youths are also anticipating more involvement, in businesses as government has procured, some startup packs, for the youth that are engaged in businesses. The government has also distributed, weeks ago, the government has distributed some farming inputs to youths that are, willing to go into irrigation farming. And we could see what the government has been doing when it comes to a skill acquisition. So it's not far from what Lupe has said. It is all about empowering the youth. They are expecting more from the government to see that they're back on their feet.
Very much, Jesse. Thank you very much, Lupe, our correspondent from Borno and Kaduna State.